Hi, everybody. Actually, not so much in deep. Regulation are boring, definitely. So, presentation. Carlo Falciola. I'm probably one of the less young in the room. My very first experience, my PhD program dates back to 1981 with a HP calculator. I successful program a mastermind game that has a huge success in my classroom because typically any professor could not imagine that you were playing while clicking numbers on an HP calculator. So then my very first experience with the internet go back to 1989, and my first browser installed in 1983, working in the artificial intelligence lab of the Università Statale di Milano. Then about 10 years on object-oriented technologies, and 22 in cybersecurity, mainly focusing on the protecting side of the game. So as a matter of fact, cybersecurity is deadly complex. If you look at the, cybersecurity from outside, you see cybersecurity. If you look from inside, you see a huge amount of technology with very different skill, each of them. That means also that the regulation is complex. It is important to be ready to understand that you have to do an effort on that regulation. So, I say, regulations are complex. Open source software could be a very, very, very large impact on cybersecurity and also on regulation compliance, and at the end of the day, on survivability of your organization or on your workplace or whatever it is. So let's go on. Some of them, very, very quickly, just to give you an idea of how many of them there are around. The very first one was GDPR, back 10 years ago, more or less, and it's partially successful, partially failed rules, also because it was the very first, and the environment was not ready, also in terms of regulation, to manage this stuff. And also because software in general tend to be very, very kept to change by the time regulation are not, is difficult. But it was a very, very important starting point because protecting the, the privacy data is absolutely fundamental. Then Cyber Resilience Act. I don't want to talk about, in that moment, there is another guy in another room that is talking about CRA. You will probably have better time to take a look of his registration when it will be published, and that's it. It's very important. I think the most important point of that is related to the view of the future, because it's building to make the digital world to be ready for the future and for sustain a long time in our society. Because at the moment, all software-related stuff, digital stuff, let's say, are not even remotely normal, like lightning or pipelines or the fact that this room needs doors to get out, etc. You basically can code everything you want. And as our society is evolved, this could lend to very, very big issue. On the personal side, everything is phone now. you lose your phone, or your phone is broken, or is robbed, and you have a problem, etc. And also from the society point of view. From the society point of view, NIS2, that is the most raging regulation that we all have to take a look at, is the more interesting, because NIS2 is the first one in which likely the legislator realized that with cyber crime, you can make very, very huge damage to the society as a whole. Just to give an example, or just to try to synthesize in a sentence, a good criminal in general doesn't scale well. Could be a lot of damage to someone, but is a guy, or a little number of guys, and unless you lend to him an atomic bomb, I mean, the damage is always limited. Digital crime scale much, much better. You have no cost to send 1 bazillion of phishing mails to all the world any day, any hours, or whatever. Most of the cost is thrown against the infrastructure, the mailing system that sends in delivery the phishing mail to 1 bazillion of people. So one guy in one room or a little organization could be a lot of damage. You can automatize attacks. Doesn't cost you so much. Maybe some hours in some provider, or you have to buy a little big computer, but I mean, the quality of the effect that you can get is wider. That also means, if you see from the point of view of ourselves, on the good guys, let's say, there is no more the concept, or maybe I will not attack. Doesn't exist anymore. Because when something attacking has no cost, there is no reason not to attack everybody. It's just a matter of time. You can analyze all the, all the stuff that's going on in internet, all the domains in a matter of hours with basically very low costs. So you can do all the attacks that you want. DORA is more or less the same, just a little bit more advanced for the financial market. Product liability is something that I think it stands on CRA and is related to the fact that the physical products need to be safe also on a digital level. There is no sense that we upgrade or patch our computer any days, and we don't do the same with any of other digital stuff that runs we have in the hands any day, like our phone or whatever. Why someone should stop delivering update of the phone or never produce any update of the camera that we put to look out in our garden? No sense. So then there are a couple of organizational regulations that that does help to organize the cybersecurity world for the European community. And there are also other regulations that I did not name it here, like EICMA or whatever, that are related to specific tasks. But that's the point. So then there is the last one, where everybody talk about artificial intelligence, good. Artificial intelligence need to be protected. To reconnect to the first discussion here. I know. Basically, we have, sorry, I lost myself. Definitely apply cloud artificial intelligence during an attack is a no, 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 no. In any case, you never want to, with your question, with your request, with whatever, to send outside information that is related to the attack that you are trying to block. No sense at all. Those information needs to be treated locally because the attack is ongoing. You have no idea while you are attacked which level of attacking are you actually seeing and what is happening. So you risk to give information about that stuff. Then later you may share information of what you learn and what you did. Not at that point. So absolutely private LLM for anything related to cybersecurity in that sense. The idea is to give, of the rule is to give a risk-based approach. So basically understand what is definitely prohibited, what is high risk, limited, et cetera, et cetera. The problem with AI is that you are, it's the very first time in which the general public interact with software directly. In any other case, if you think, the interaction is always mediated by some kind of programmer or programmer teams. Even for the famous algorithm of YouTube or whatever it is, there is someone that triggers stuff, etc. With AI, you talk with the software, and the software in that moment answers to you and can give you wrong information, can you biased information, whatever. So that's very tough. And that is the basically reason because you need a special regulation for that. And then we come to the last one, NIS2. I already talked about that. Protecting the society, basically. Because of the software is so cheap, you can broke large amount of company at the same time, very easily. And so you, as a producer or vendor of a service, you must be safe. And basically NIS2 is this for that. I don't talk anymore, apart that is an international rule for all Europe, but needs to be implemented in any country. As Italian, we are a little bit lucky or unlucky, a second point of view, to be one of the, probably the third nation that we have specific regulation. From your point of view, if you're a programmer or developer or delivery software, it's good because you see some issue and you can solve some issue before any other else. But of course, it means also that you have to do before. And you are the first one on the stand. Basically, that's it. NIS2 open source, just to close, is a very, very huge opportunities because NIS2 also scale from huge company nationwide to very small company with specific task. And so you need to tailor, as Graziano said before, your expense, your budget, to get the best result. You cannot just take all the best of breed. You need to spend wisely your money. And maybe also, in that case, open source could help a lot, could help to you. That's it.